superhero design. We're going to design this in Photoshop, and if you don't have Photoshop, then you can use Pixlr and try to recreate it as using these techniques. So let's begin. So the first thing we want to do is open Photoshop. So File, New. Now in Photoshop, it'll give you presets. We're not going to use these presets. Now right here is where we're going to select. You have inches, pixels, centimeters, millimeters, points, and pecs. So I'm going to work in inches. I'm going to make the width 8.5 and the height 11 and the resolution 300. Resolution at 300 gives you a nice clear image. Anything like 75 resolution is like for web, then it's not going to stand out. So I'm going to go ahead and make my background transparent. I'm going to make it black. Okay. I'm going to make a dark piece. I'm going to hit create. So notice that the background is black. Now the first thing I want to do is bring in my piece. Now two ways you can bring it. You can drag it in, or you can go to File, Import, okay, or File, Open. Many different ways to do it. Navigate to the desktop. Here it is. And now it comes in. Now notice that it came in by itself. It's on a difference. If I move it out, this window is separate. I can drag it. Notice how it connects. This is on the certification test. When you see a blue, that means you can actually put the panels together. And you can do the same thing here. It can come apart, and where you see the blue is where you can actually drop it in. All right. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and select this and bring this into my main page. So two ways you can do this. You can go select all. By selecting all, it copies. You see the marching ants that goes around the image. And I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, and you click on this, your actual page, and I'm going to click Edit, Paste. Here it is. Notice that it creates a new layer. In Photoshop, everything is centered around layers. So every time you add something text, it creates a layer, and it adds it above. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So I'm going to use my magnifying glass. Okay. Now the first thing I want to do is delete this background. So I'm going to hover over when you see a little dot on the side, that means there's additional tools right here. And that's on the test. It's going to ask you, when using the toolbar, what does this little arrow on the side represent? It represents additional tools. So I'm going to use my magic wand. Now this magic wand, the tolerance is at 100. That means it's too strong. So we're going to bring that down to 20. And let's try and see how it got a little better. But that's another way you can select. If I press Shift and continue, see, I can continue by holding Shift. But notice that it goes in to here. Okay. That's one way to select. Another way you can select is using the quick selection tool and hold Shift and drag it along the line. See, just hold Shift and drag it where you want to select. Pretty cool tool. It's a new feature here. There it is. Okay, but notice that we don't want to select inside the tire. So to do that, you want to click Option. Notice if I press Option, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. If I press Option, notice what happens. The plus sign goes to a negative. So I'm going to come here, press the space bar. This is on the exam. Space bar gives you the hand so you can move it. By pressing space, I get the hand so you can continue. I'm going to click Option. I'm going to drag it along the line. Now sometimes selections might not be perfectly done, but that's fine. Okay, see some more. You got to be careful. You might see some other stuff lingering. Now what I like to do is go in with a fine-tooth comb and click on the edges, get those out, just moving the edge perfect. Hold Shift, move it around. See how, look at that. See, the nose is not being selected, so we Press Option. Perfect. We didn't get the ears. Look at that. And that's fine if it goes out just a tad bit. Good. Let's get up here. Good. Looks good. Look at it. See? Gotta be, look at the details. Get out just a tad bit. Perfect. And this tool, we're using the quick selection tool. Look at that. See? Very important. You zoom in and you see the areas. That looks good. Let's fix this area right here. Okay, perfect. Option, click. Nice. Trying to get it all perfect. Option. Perfect. Space bar, let's move around. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna leave that part like that. So now I'm gonna, by pressing Command minus, I can zoom in now. So I want to delete this whole area, so I'm gonna click delete, and now it's gone. See? So now it's all gone. But I'm gonna zoom in more. I'm gonna deselect, inverse, deselect it. But notice that it's not a smooth, clean cut. So the trick to this is to click Option and click on, show you a trick that I've done. Hit Command, press Command and hover over the layer and just click on it. Notice that there's still some areas that's selected. I'm going to deselect. Let's go ahead and delete that right now. You can also delete stuff by using the selection tool. Pretty quick and easy. That's gone. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead, click on the object, right? Clicking Command, click. Now I want to soften the edges on this character. So I'm going to go to Select, Modify, and I'm going to click Contract. 2 pixels in. Let's see if it goes in. Yes, it did. Let's zoom in so you can see what happened. See how it went in 2 pixels in? I'm going to undo. I'm going to do it again so you can see it. Modify, Contact, 2 pixels in. Perfect. Then I want to go to Select, Modify, Feather. I want to feather 2 pixels. Select, Inverse. Inverse allows you to select, delete, because I want to delete the stuff, delete this extra piece so it's a smoother transition. And once I press delete, the feather is going to soften the edge. So let's take a look and see what happens. I'm going to press delete. Look how nice and soft that looks. Press the delete again. You see how nice and soft that looks? See? Perfect. All that jagged edge is gone. Okay. So now we got our character. Nice and clean cutout. I'm going to grade you on that cutout. So the next thing I want to do now is add a, I want to add him jumping through a ring. Now, same problem. This is an image. Now, when an image comes in, this is on the certification test. This object right here is called a smart object. That means it holds it maintains the quality of the image. It can't be distorted. It can't be altered. So I'm going to go ahead and rasterize that layer so it becomes an image. Rasterize makes it into pixels. Okay, so I need to do the same thing. I'm going to use my quick selection tool. Love the quick selection tool. Just drag along the edge and delete. Boom. Just going inside, delete. Now another way you can do this is go to Select, Similar. Look at this. Everything that is that color, I just deleted. Let's undo it again. Do it again. You click on the select tool, deselect. Let's say that whole area. Go to select, similar. Anything that's similar, delete, is gone. Bam. Now we have the same issue here. What could we do here, guys? The same technique is what? Hover over, command, click, select, modify, contact. I'm gonna go in a little bit more because it's a lot more I want to do. Okay, perfect. Select, modify, feather, hit OK, and I'm gonna go ahead and select inverse and delete. Press delete. Okay, perfect. It's getting a little better. Okay, so now I want to use this as a frame. It's my creativity coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and scale this up. Now to scale something, all you got to do is, let me show you real quick. Two ways to scale something. You click on the object, which is the layer we're on. And also this is on the certification test for Photoshop. They're going to ask you to rename something. So to rename, you just click on the area twice and call it fire. As a designer, you want to start organizing your layers with names. Bike. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and scale this up. To scale, no shortcuts, edit. Let me do it again. Edit, transform, scale. There you get that. When you get this image around, you always scale from the corner. You pull the corner, never pull the center or the sides. Let's make it a little smaller. So I can see it. Rotate. To rotate, look at this trick here. Easy rotation is you can go to edit, transform, rotate. Let's rotate that. Okay, perfect. Let's bring up a tab bit. Okay. Now, I still want to soften some things up. So I'm going to click on the eraser. And the eraser gives me, I have different options of erasers. I can use the brush, block, or pencil. I like using the brush. I'm going to soften the opacity. Opacity deals with the intensity and darkness of the object. I'm going to make the brush a little larger. So I'm clicking right, softly on the brush. Let's bring the intensity up. Yeah, perfect. See, we just soften the edges up. Soften those up. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see what's happening. See, our goal is to get rid of some of those white. These little things makes a big difference in your design. See, I'm just clicking and moving along. Okay, so what I'm going to do, here's another tool, the Lasso Tool. I'm going to click the things I don't want. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these things. Get some of the fires out of here. Bam. And all I got to hit is delete. Because I'm working on this particular layer. So now I want to scale my guy popping out of the fire. So I'm going to click him. I'm going to put drag, hit enter, but I'm going to put the bike in front. Like he's coming out. So notice that my guy is coming out the fire. Okay. Now, there's some things when you go in, just a rule of when you search things online, okay, the keyword is PNG. So if I put in fire PNG, that means transparent background. Okay, it gives me fires that has some transparent background, which I already grabbed, and they're on the side. So I'm going to pull those in, drag that one in there, bam. See how they already did the work for us? Okay, so that's a nice fire right there. So I'm going to scale this down smaller. And I'm gonna rotate this fire like it's flames coming out my from the wheels. Wow. Oh yeah. Look at that flame, boy. Bam. That looks nice. See how that fire just blends right in there? Okay. Now, let's see what else we have. I wanted to add a road. So I'm going to drag this road in here. I'm going to put the road in the background. Let's scale the road. How do we scale? Edit, transform, scale. Okay. Enter. I'm going to send that to the back. Move it to the back. But we want to get rid of what? This piece. How can we do that? Very simple. We can use the Polygon Lasso. Click. This allows you to click all the way around and then delete. Now we can't delete it because what? It's a smart object. So right click, rasterize, and then delete. Deselect. Now I got a road in the background. Ooh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Let's pull it over a little bit. You can see the road. Okay, good. So now I think I want to go ahead and get rid of some of this fire on the top. So what I'm going to do is go in with my, get it smaller, smaller, disappears. And I'll go around on the outside. I want it to come like this. Okay, perfect. Now notice that I'm on the fire. Anytime you work on the layer, you must be on the layer. I'm gonna cut it out. Command X. All right, and I'm gonna click Command Paste because just in case I want to use it again, I have it. I'm not just in case I want to come back. So what I do is click on the eye. You see these eye right here? If you click on the eye, it disappears. Okay, I'm gonna move that down. Okay. So now the next thing I want to do is add the words in here. So the key words that I'm going to add, I'm going to click on the T tool, click on the word, and my superpower was creativity, and it's in black. That's why we can't see it. So I'm going to select all, turn that into white so we can see what's going on. Drag that over, scale it in. Now to scale, you remember this is, but I'm doing the shortcut, which is Command T. But this font is a little boring. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to select the font. And I'm going to come in here and find a really cool font. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That looks really good. Creativity. And I'm going to have the word innovation real small. But I'm going to use a different font for that. I want it to be like a serious font. So the font that I'm going to use, let's come down. Let's use a font that's like right here. No, let's get a better font here. Let's try that. Nope, that's not working. So you got to find the right font. Let's try this font. Ooh, yes. Innovation. Bam. Let's see. We got the text falling apart. Okay, now what I'll probably do now is we need to put some flavor on this text. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to scale this text up a little bit more. To scale, I'm going to press Option and pull the bottom. Now Option and Shift together allow you to stretch it. Okay, hit Enter. Kind of like that white, but you know what? We need to add some color to this. So what I'm going to do is, this is a quick way. Once you work with layer styles, so you go to layer and layer styles, and you can put effects on your text. So I'm going to put a gradient. Okay. So I'm going to click on the gradient here. And I'm going to duplicate this. To duplicate, you want to press Option and pull. So now we have two. Option and pull. So you have 3. I'm going to change the color, click on it, and I'm going to hover over on the red. I want to get the colors that's in here so my palette has the same flavor. Okay, then I'm going to change this to a orange. Ooh, yeah. Then I'm going to change this blue to a yellow, like a bright yellow. Let's change this. To change that, let's go right here. Let's get a really bright yellow. Yes, there it is. So that yellow looks pretty good. So I'm going to hit OK. Okay. Now, a trick that I do, I kind of love the way this innovation stands out in white. It just pops. So what I want to probably do is duplicate this. To duplicate, very simple. You go to layers. You go to image. Where is it at? Duplicate layer. Okay. So I have this layer in the back. You see, this is the top and this is the back. This is the copy. I'm gonna leave the copy, but I want to work on this layer. Just now, this is pretty cool. You can double click here to get to the layer styles. So I'm gonna stroke this, put a stroke, and I'm gonna change the color of the stroke to go white. What goes with white? Let's go with a blue. Let's see. You gotta find. Now these colors are complementary colors. That blue, no, it's not working. Oh, that green. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see what's happening now. I know what I gotta do. I'm gonna hit OK because my bike has green. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that green for now. I'm gonna duplicate this again. This is the secret sauce here. By duplicating this, I'm gonna work on the middle one and I'm gonna change that to black. Let's go with black. Oh yeah. And let's make that black and let's make it smaller. You see, by making the stroke smaller, see the stroke of the black smaller, look how nice that looks. And that's a simple technique by duplicating the layer. Okay, so that looks pretty good so far. Now there's a couple things we can do. I want to add something that's a little dynamic in the back. Something is missing. Something. A whirl. Let's add a city in the background. So we go here and let's find a really cool fire city. Let's see what they got. Oh yes. Let's see what they got. We can use and alter it. Ooh. That's nice too. But remember, it has to fit the feel of the design. So I'm going to try this one. Okay. Let me try. I saw another one somewhere. Ooh, let's try this one. Yeah, that's right there. Let's go with this one. Drag it to the desktop. Let's come in here. Where are these guys? I'm going to drag it in. That's an easy way to do it. Hit enter. Now what's happening? How can we fix this problem, guys? We just use the what? The quick selection. Or we can use the what? Magic wand and hit delete. Now why can't we delete? Because it's what? Smart object. So we have to rasterize it and now we can delete. Okay, did we delete? Oh, delete. We're on the wrong layer. Hello, rasterize this one and then delete. Deselect. Okay, so now I got a city in the back. I'm gonna move this all behind the city, and look, notice we got that same issue back there. I'm gonna scale this city in smaller. Put it right there. Okay, so it looks like it's much more in the background and this black fades into the city. So I'm gonna duplicate this. To duplicate, we just right click and duplicate the layer and just drag it over. To scale it, let's just pull it Okay. I'm going to use my selection tool. Okay. And I'm going to hit similar. So we can get rid of all the white. I don't want no white showing. Then I'm going to go to the next layer. I'm going to go to select similar. I'm going to hit delete. Okay, great. So now we got innovation. Okay. Creativity. Innovation. Uh-oh, we're missing something. See, sometimes when you're working fast, you tend to forget. Okay. 1 second. Gotta fix that real quick. That's a simple fix. We forgot our A in creativity. So you just go here, click on it, add your A. Okay. Creativity. Got that right. Okay. So now for easy fix that one. Then we can go here. Remember, we just put the A in. Bam. Move it down. And we do what here? A. Perfect. So now we just move things back in place. 1. 2. Perfect. Align it. Align it over. So we can see those nice details. That looks good like that. Put it up. Perfect. Now, once you have it in position, what I'm going to do now is group these. So to group, you click on the layer, hold shift, and click. So now these two layers are connected. And I'm going to lock them. By pressing the lock, now they're both locked. So I'm going to scale this in. To scale it, you just pull it in. Enter. You got it. Okay. Looks pretty good so far. Just the edges looks a little hard. So what I'm going to do is soften it up. Okay. To soften it up, what we did, select, modify, contact. I'm going to take it in a lot. I'm going to take it in 4 pixels. Matter of fact, I should take it in more. Select, modify, contact. I'm going to take that in 8 pixels. I want to go in deep. Then I'm going to go to select, modify, feather. Let's do that to 6 pixels. And I'm going to select inverse. So we switch it and then hit delete. Give it nice and much better, nice and soft, nice and soft. So what I'll probably do now is go here, take my eraser, and make sure I'm on the fire layer, and then erase some of this fire to soften it up. Nice, see? Let's soften the fire on this side. Let's do the same here. Soften up the fire. Nice. Okay, great. So now I think we got enough. I mean, we could play with it from now. We can add more if we need to. Let's see what else I had. I had a fire here. Yeah, that's nice. Let's bring that here. Sparks. I'm gonna rotate this spark going on. That's coming from the back of the bike. Ooh, boy, this is beautiful. So we got the sparks coming out. Now, 2 things we can actually do is pull that in the back so that our word still shows. So real quick, giving you an idea, You must include the words, creativity, innovation, your character, delete the background. So you just learned a couple of things here. Make sure you take notes on this particular piece. I'm going to go ahead and file, save as. Make sure you go where you want to save it. I'll put it. Okay. It's going to save to my desktop as a Photoshop file, a PNG. Now, and on the exam, it tells you the different formats. So Photoshop is a PSD file. Okay, so I'm going to click that as Photoshop. And then you also have a JPEG. So this is what you're going to turn into, Mr. Paris. You have to save two versions, the JPEG version. Okay, make sure your max quality, hit OK. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording for today.